You use it every single day. You write the date on checks. You set reminders on your phone. You plan your week around it. You never question it. But the calendar you trust with your entire life was quietly carved up by a dead Roman emperor, and most of the world never noticed. Look at the months. Really look at them. September, October, November, December. In Latin, those names mean 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. But September is the 9th month. October is the 10th. November is the 11th. December is the 12th. The math is wrong. It has been wrong for over 2,000 years. And the reason it is wrong tells you something unsettling about how power works and how long it can outlast the people who wielded it. To understand what happened, you have to go back to the beginning. The earliest Roman calendar was not 12 months. It was 10. It was attributed to Romulus, the legendary founder of Rome, and it began in March. That is why September was the 7th month. That is why October was the 8th. The names were accurate. The system was clean. The year had 304 days, running from March through December, and then the calendar simply stopped. There was no January. There was no February. Winter was a dead zone, an unnamed stretch of cold that did not officially exist. Historian Ovid, writing in his poem Fasti around 8 CE, described this early system in detail and noted that the Romans of that era did not see fit to track a season when nothing could be planted and no wars could be fought. Time for them was defined by what mattered, and winter did not matter enough to count. That changed around 713 BCE, according to Roman tradition, when King Numa Pompilius added January and February to the front of the calendar. The year now had 12 months, but they were added at the wrong end. Instead of inserting them after December and renumbering everything from the start, Numa appended them to the tail of the year, or in some accounts, bolted them onto the beginning while leaving all the old names in place. Either way, the names were never updated. September was suddenly the 9th month, calling itself the 7th. The lie was baked in, and no one fixed it. The calendar limped along like this for centuries. Months drifted against the seasons because the Romans never properly synchronized their lunar count with the solar year. Priests were given the power to add intercalary months, extra days inserted to keep the calendar roughly aligned. But they abused this power consistently. They added days when it suited political allies and withheld them from enemies. They stretched years to keep favorable magistrates in office. They compressed years to oust those they opposed. By the time of the late Roman Republic, the calendar was nearly 3 months out of alignment with the actual solar year. The Roman month of March was arriving in what was, by the position of the sun, the middle of winter. Julius Caesar had seen how time was managed in Egypt. He had seen the sophistication of the Alexandrian astronomical tradition, and he had worked with the Greek astronomer Sosigenes of Alexandria to design something better. In 46 BCE, Caesar reformed the Roman calendar entirely. He inserted 90 extra days into that single year, making 46 BCE 445 days long, to force realignment with the solar cycle. Then he restructured the year into 12 months of roughly 30 to 31 days each, with a leap year every 4 years to absorb the extra quarter day the Earth takes to complete its orbit. The result was the Julian calendar. It was rational, precise for its time, and almost entirely what the Western world would use for the next 1,500 years. Caesar also renamed the 7th month in his honor. Quintilis, the fifth month in the original Romulus calendar, became Julius. We call it July. He never saw what came next. Caesar was assassinated in 44 BCE, just 2 years after implementing his reform. His heir, Octavian, fought through a decade of civil war and emerged as the sole ruler of the Roman world. The Senate gave him a new name, Augustus, and Augustus decided that if Caesar got a month, so did he. The 6th month, Sextilis, was renamed in his honor. We call it August. Here is where the story gets petty in a way that professional historians like Michael Kulikowski have noted as characteristic of Roman political culture. According to the Roman writer Macrobius, writing in his Saturnalia in the early 5th century CE, Augustus noticed that his month had only 30 days, while Caesar's July had 31. He could not accept this. He took a day from February, already the shortest month, already the one the Romans treated as the runt of the calendar, and added it to August to make them equal. February, which had once alternated between 29 and 28 days, was permanently fixed at 28. The months after August were reshuffled to maintain alternating lengths. The whole system was quietly adjusted to flatter a dead man's vanity. Chronologist E. G. Richards, in his exhaustive 1998 study, Mapping Time, the Calendar and its History, traces the chain of these decisions and concludes that what we call the Gregorian calendar, the one most of the world uses today, carries within it the fingerprints of every one of these political acts, the mismatched month names, the short February, the irregular distribution of days across the year. None of it is astronomical. All of it is political. Pope Gregory XIII completed the final major reform in 1582. By then, the Julian calendar had drifted 11 days out of alignment with the solar year because Caesar's astronomers had miscalculated the length of the solar year by 11 minutes. 11 minutes per year. Over 15 centuries, that becomes 11 days. Gregory corrected for it by skipping 10 days in October of that year. October 4th was followed by October 15th, and by refining the leap year rule. Century years like 1700 and 1800 would no longer be leap years unless they were divisible by 400. The year 2000 was a leap year. The year 1900 was not. But Gregory did not rename the months. He did not correct the numbering. September is still the 9th month, named for the number 7. December is still the 12th month, named for the number 10. The lie that Numa introduced 2,700 years ago has never been corrected, because no one with the power to correct it has ever found it worth the effort. Think about what this means. You have been navigating time using a system designed around the political insecurities of men who have been dead for 2 millennia. The shortness of February is not a natural law. It is a grudge. The shape of your week, the rhythm of your year, the names on your calendar, they are not reflections of astronomical reality. They are fossils of power. They are the residue of decisions made by emperors, priests, and politicians whose names you mostly do not know, whose motives you would mostly find petty, and whose world you would barely recognize. Every time you write a date, you are completing a sentence that Julius Caesar started and Augustus edited for vanity and Numa set in motion in a city that did not yet have paved roads. The calendar was never designed for you. It was designed for them. You inherited it because power does not disappear when powerful people die. It calcifies. It becomes invisible. It becomes the structure inside which everyone who comes after them lives their lives without ever asking why September is the 9th month named for the number 7. Now you have asked, and you cannot stop noticing it. The next time you write the date, the next time you flip to a new month, or glance at your phone or plan your week, you will feel it. A small, quiet wrongness. A number that does not match. A dead emperor's vanity baked into the shape of your year. You use it every single day, and now you know exactly why it is the way it is.